Okay, so slightly different example and a little more difficult as well. Here we have four regions and we have 4 months. So we have January actual target, February actual target, the same for March and the same for April. If you want to find out whether we have met the target or not, it's very difficult to do this on Excel because it is not in a tabular format. To convert this into a tabular format, we will first send this table to Power Query. So while the number of steps are not very large, it is the order of these steps that are very important. So the first thing that I want to do is to select the header and make it a part of my data set. To do this, we click on use headers as first row. This means that I want to take my header and bring it back to my data set like this. Once we have done this, now we want to transpose the data. So on transform, we can select transpose. So now we are getting somewhere. Now we can again do the opposite of what we did in the first step. This time I want to use the first row as the header because I want north, east, west and south to become the header. So we get the data like this. And finally we can select our four columns, north, east, west and south. Right click and then select unpivot columns. The moment you do that, it will make sure that all the different regions are mentioned in different rows like this. Let's bring it in the front. Let's call this my region. Oh, so region already exists. So what we'll do is we will make this temp. Let's call this the region. Now the problem is that this should actually be the month, but there is also a type value in it. And we are interested in both of them. We want the month and we want the type. To do this, we can split column by delimiter. And I can say that the delimiter here is going to be, you know what? In fact, let's split a column by the number of positions. That would be easier. Or we can choose the number of characters, just like Excel. So we want to say that we want 6 characters from the right side. So which would be actual or target. So I want to use it once. And if you notice, it has kept the actual and target word in one column and the month is in a different column. So we can make this the month and we can make this the type. Makes sense, right? And once you have done this, if you want to see the result, we can simply close and load. The data will get loaded onto Excel. And the best part is it has got loaded in a tabular format, which means that now when we convert this into a pivot table, let's put it on the same sheet. We will get a pivot table. We can keep type in value, type in column, value in values, and then month in rows. And we can see for which month we met the target or did not meet the target, right? Of course, here the grand total would be taken away. So let me remove my grand total and then you can compare the actual and the target like this. And now because we have done this on Power Query, this is all linked to the original data set, which means that if we add one more month, so right in front of you, I'm adding May 2020 actual, and we're also adding May 2020 target. We'll just keep some random numbers here. So this is how my data looks now. This time we have 5 months, January, February, March, April, and May as well. How do you refresh this? If you right click and refresh, then automatically you notice that the month of May has also got added. And how do you refresh it on the pivot table? Again, you can right click and refresh. And now the pivot table also gets refreshed automatically.